Have you ever noticed how some people seem to hijack your entire day without you even realizing it? You know that coworker who stops by your desk for what should be a quick chat, but 30 minutes later, you're still listening to their problems? Or maybe it's that friend who texts you with one drama after another, and suddenly your productive morning has vanished. These people are energy vampires. They're real productivity threats that most of us completely overlook. What makes them so dangerous is that they don't announce themselves. There's no warning sign that says, "Caution, this conversation will ruin your afternoon." Instead, these interactions feel normal in the moment, but leave you strangely drained afterward. These interactions fly under our radar, like hidden leaks, draining your energy tank. You might not connect your afternoon slump with that lunch conversation where your colleague complained about their boss for 45 minutes. But research confirms this connection. A study from the University of California found that the average worker loses 2 to 3 hours of productive time after dealing with a negative interaction. A 15-minute conversation with a toxic person can wreck your entire afternoon. Most of us have no idea this is happening. Our brains are wired to process negative social experiences more deeply than positive ones. This goes back to our evolution. Noticing and remembering threats was more important for survival than remembering positive things. When someone dumps their negativity on you, your brain treats it like an emotional threat, triggering stress responses that linger after the conversation ends. This productivity drain compounds over time. Losing 2 hours of good work time after a draining interaction might not seem significant for a single day, but multiply that by several times a week, every week of the year. We're talking about hundreds of hours of lost productivity. That's why so many people feel stuck. Energy vampires create an invisible drag on their progress. Understanding the difference between normal, difficult conversations and truly toxic interactions is crucial. Not every challenging discussion is harmful. Sometimes we need to have tough talks about problems or conflicts. That's part of life and work. The difference is how you feel afterward. A healthy, difficult conversation might be uncomfortable in the moment, but afterward you feel clearer, or like you've resolved something. Toxic interactions leave you feeling foggy, tired, and unable to focus. You can measure the impact these relationships have on your work. After toxic interactions, your error rates increase. Your decision quality decreases. Your creative thinking diminishes. Research shows your memory suffers too. One study found that participants exposed to negative social interactions scored 20% lower on cognitive tests compared to those who had neutral or positive interactions. Energy vampires are individuals who consistently deplete your mental and emotional resources through negative interactions. They're not always bad people with bad intentions. Sometimes they don't realize what they're doing, but the effect remains the same, a measurable drop in your focus and output. Energy vampires come in different forms. Some are obvious, like the person who's always complaining or creating drama. Others are harder to spot, like the friend who seems supportive but somehow always makes you feel bad about yourself. Or the coworker who's friendly but constantly interrupts your work with non-urgent questions. Think about someone in your life who leaves you feeling tired after interactions. Notice I didn't say someone you dislike. That's the tricky part. Many energy vampires are people we actually like or care about. The drain happens regardless of how we feel about them personally. Most productivity advice focuses on habits, routines, and time management, but they miss this huge factor, the people around you. You can have the best productivity system in the world, but if you're surrounded by energy vampires, you'll still struggle to accomplish what matters. What's weird is that most of us plan our days around tasks and meetings, but we don't plan for these energy drains. We block time for projects, but not for recovery after difficult interactions. We try to power through the mental fog instead of recognizing what caused it. Workplace psychology research shows that positive connections can boost productivity by up to 25%, while negative interactions can reduce it by even more. The quality of your relationships at work matters tremendously. One toxic relationship can outweigh several positive ones. The long-term effects are serious. Regular interactions with energy vampires keep your stress hormones elevated. This leads to burnout, decreased job satisfaction, and health problems. Studies show that ongoing exposure to negative social interactions increases your risk of depression and anxiety. The good news is that once you recognize what's happening, you can protect yourself. You don't have to cut everyone out of your life. Instead, you need specific strategies to manage these interactions so they don't wreck your productivity. You probably already have some natural defenses. Maybe you've noticed yourself avoiding certain people or delaying responses to their messages. That's your brain trying to protect your energy. But we can do better than avoidance. We need actual strategies. The first step is awareness. Start noticing how different people affect your energy and productivity. Track how you feel after interactions and how much good work you accomplish afterward. This awareness alone can be eye-opening. But how do you know if someone is actually toxic or just having a bad day? Everyone has tough times, and we all need support sometimes. The key difference is in the patterns. Does this person consistently leave you feeling drained? Do they take without giving? Do they turn every conversation into a negative spiral? Or is this just a temporary situation where they need extra support?